Joining us today is Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources. Now, Paul, there's been a number of announcements this week from Power Metals, but before we get into them, what's the latest on Molopo? Any updates you can share?
We get a lot of questions about Molopo at the moment, and that's absolutely fine. Yep, everything's moving forward. We're making all those preparations that we talked about in the announcement for the diamond drill program, which is imminent. Obviously, first stage mobilization. And then when they're in the field, we get cracking with the drilling. So we're working with the geophysicists to finally refine the targets, as it were. We're working with the operational teams in country, geological and ground operational. And my system's pinging now because so many messages coming in about this. So we're just getting ready to go as soon as possible. Of course, we will relay to the market what's going on and make sure everyone can follow this story. It's an exciting story, targeting a major nickel discovery in Botswana.
Excellent. Okay, good. Well, let's take a look at some of the announcements. Two announcements today. First of all, the uranium portfolio in the Athabasca Basin area. You've extended that, is that correct, by staking some new ground? So what was the rationale behind this?
Well, this is all down to Oliver and Jack in the team, who were working hard to identify prospective areas for additional staking or potential acquisitions. We're looking to build our portfolio in the Athabasca. We're quite a sizable landholder with 11 individual properties, one of which we vended right and back, but the other 10 are 100% Power Metal owned. We're actually being quite careful now that as we build the portfolio going forward, we're looking for the very, very best. And in terms of property potential, neurology, all the different factors that make uranium properties exciting. The uranium price has been moving up this week. There's been a lot of conversation and talk about the future, the need for clean energy, the need for reliable energy. Of course, we're all, nervous about pricing of our electricity bills and so on. So it's very much in focus in the public arena rather than just the mining and exploration arena. So yeah, very excited to see this additional project added. It's surrounded by pretty major organizations focused on the uranium business. So we're definitely in the right area with this one.
Okay, excellent. What's your take just on the uranium market going forward? Prices have seen quite a significant uptick in recent times.
Well, we're going to have, I think, something similar to what happened back in 2006-07 with a significant increase in the commodity price. Then the price went up to circa $140 a pound. Now we see predictions of $500 a pound, well, maybe. What I think we'll see is a bit more longevity this time around in the prices staying at much higher levels. It will take a while before people have the confidence to really dramatically invest in, new uranium production, as it were. But the exploration sector, the junior resource companies who operate in uranium, they do tend to see quite dramatic valuation moves when the sector gets hot. So, yeah, I think from all perspectives, we're in the right commodity with this, and we're in absolutely the right time to be in it.
Okay, good to hear, Paul. So let's look at Tati now, and there's been a couple of work programs that have been done here. You've done some RC drilling, testing into the extensions of mineralization from the former working gold mine there, and you've also taken some sampling from the fines dumps that are on site as well. So could you just explain exactly the purpose of this work program and what it is telling you at this stage?
So Tati was a project that we acquired back in 2021. We actually extended that project. We added a new license, which is where we've been undertaking reverse circulation drilling recently, in recent weeks. That drilling, about 490 meters in total over 9 holes, was designed to test extensions of the gold mineralization effectively from what's called the Cherished Hope gold mine, a former working gold mine. So we've done the drilling, we've collected the samples, and they're off to the labs for processing. Last time, I think we had a bit of a delay with turnaround because we were still in the disruptive period following the COVID restrictions and various other things. We're hoping this time the turnaround will be much, much quicker. We expect it to be so. And we'll see, we're targeting high-grade gold. We're targeting it in the quartz reefs. We hit the quartz reefs in every hole and multiple reefs in a number of holes. And it's very shallow, which is perfect in terms of potential production going forward. So we're very buoyed up and excited at the results from the field, from the RC program, and we're now just looking forward to receiving the assay results. There was a separate exercise, which is the Cherished Hope gold mine, the waste material from when that was operational. It was processed, the ore that was taken out was processed on site, and there's quite a large fines dump there, which is the waste material post-processing. We wanted to test that to see if there was potential for that to be further processed with the latest kind of technology. We found that every single sample, 37 in total, had material residual gold, and we're absolutely thrilled with that. So now we're moving to the next stage. We're having some check assays done at Intertek on the data that we've received. We're looking at volumetrics, and we're looking at processing. We do have to get some local approvals if we wanted to move down that route, but we're just looking at all of that at the minute. So that was a separate exercise that was equally successful to the RC drilling.
Now, yesterday, then, of course, news from Australia, and we see this potential IOCG. So just give us some more information on this.
Yes, you see that term thrown around an awful lot, don't you?
At the moment, see it quite a lot, I think.
Yeah, it is quite impressive. I mean, we put yesterday, just to go back, we announced that in South Australia, Power Metal Resources Australia, our wholly owned subsidiary, had received the formal license grant in the Gawler Creighton area of South Australia. That's about 100 kilometres up the road from Olympic Dam, that enormous original discovery in 1975 that's, in theory could produce for 100 years. And that's what we were targeting when we laid 2 applications down in the Gawler. We had one of those applications for 999 square kilometres granted, and now we have a full exploration license. And we're just working on the other one, which is 995 square kilometres, and we're hopeful that will be granted in the not too distant future. That will give us a package of just under 2,000 square kilometres of ground. And we're adjacent to, a few other players, including, an Australian listed company that's focused on that part of the world. Obviously, we don't just sit there and wait for license grants. We do a lot of work in preparation, and that's across our business. And what we've done in this project, which is now called the Willam Project in South Australia, is we've done various analysis of historical information, geological information, and so on, using our technical team, who have done a phenomenal job. And they identified a magnetic anomaly in one part of this newly granted license, and which correlated really nicely, very, very well with the gravity anomaly. And when you get that situation, I believe that was, or may have been how Olympic Dam itself was found, that type of geological finding. It certainly was the case that other major discoveries in Australia were found when you get this correlation, as it were, between 2 different types of anomaly. And what it means is that based on what we know about the geology of the area, the type of potential mineralization, that we're focusing on copper and gold, and potentially, uranium as well in that area. We need to do more work. It is a major target. It's 4 kilometers by 6 kilometers in size. If you go to our RNS, we break down a lot more detail about what IOCG is. We talk about Olympic Dam in more detail, and there is a map to show you this anomaly in a very simple kind of layout. There doesn't appear to be any impediments and problem for us working in that particular area. It seems to be clear of any restricted areas, which are quite important to respect in Australia. And we are just developing the work program to take it to the next stage. We're expediting this because the size and scale of the target and what it might potentially be is very important for us as a business. So we're looking to get on with work there as soon as possible.
And is anything preventing you getting on the ground and getting that work started as soon as possible?
Not at all. No, we are very cautious and careful across our business in Australia, whether that's in, our wholly owned project, the Willam Project in South Australia, whether it's through First Development Resources up in the Northern Territory and Western Australia, or whether it's through the Victoria Goldfields interest held through New Ballarat Gold. In all of our operations, we are very keen to make sure we undertake proper local community liaison. We deal properly and reasonably with native title related matters, and we have proper heritage agreements in place, and we follow them, and we do the right thing across our business. So in terms of where this particular anomaly is, that there doesn't appear to be anything that causes us any major difficulties. So there's some quite high impact work coming down the pipe on the Willam projects in South Australia. And I'm really looking forward to this because it's a project that I got involved with right from the start, had a great deal of belief in all the way through, and we got 100% of it, much as we got 100% of Tati, and we're really starting to focus increasingly on the projects where we either have 100% or we can get near to 100%, as you've seen with the Molopo project and the transactional work we've done there.
Okay, so just to summarise then, there's plenty of work going on in the background, staking new ground, having licences granted, looking ahead and doing a little bit of work on some of those projects. But is it fair to say that at the moment, the real focus, the real effort is going into Molopo Farms?
Yeah, I have experience of a major discovery when I was working as CEO of Metal Tiger in 2016. And when things happened with the T3 copper discovery in Botswana, which is now called the Matheo projects, owned and operated by Sandfire. Quite funny when you see just open ground suddenly over a number of years morph into an enormous industrial operation, generating hundreds upon hundreds of jobs, or indirectly or directly. It's absolutely fabulous. It's what we do this for in part, I think. And I've been through that process of you have something major in your business. And I think perhaps with hindsight, with Metal Tiger, I perhaps tried to keep too many plates spinning. And I'm very, very much aware that you do need to focus, and that's what we're doing as a business. Now, I'm helped by the fact we have a good, diverse, and extremely capable team in the business here. We are prepared for major discovery, I can tell you that. And they're all working hard in various ways to support the business on Molopo for sure. And we have external consultants, advisors in country and in the UK that we're using for that as well. There have been active meetings today for final preparations and that kind of thing. But the other parts of our business are able to still move forward at some pace because we have that depth of resource within the company and within our advisor network. So yes, you will see increasingly as the coming days and weeks go by, a focus on Molopo. We are going for a major discovery with this drill program. We know that, everyone knows that. We no need to dance around the subject. We're really going for a major transformational discovery. We may or may not get it. You know the odds of this business. We've got all the evidence to suggest we have very compelling targets. And we put that in the public domain. So the next step is just to get that drill rig on site. And I can tell you, I'm going to be excited when it mobilizes out to site and we can print that for everyone to see. I'm going to be thrilled when it starts drilling and it starts to, go down through the Kalahari sands. I'm going to be literally popping with excitement as we get into target zones. This is what our business is about. If it goes well, it's transformational. So looking forward to the next few weeks.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for that update today, Paul, and indeed looking forward to the next few weeks as well. I'm sure we'll be catching up quite a lot as things start to progress, particularly there at Molopo Farmers. But for now, Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.